They are the winner of the David C. Goodwin Memorial Scholarship is Christian Finacchio of Steiner High School in Hamilton, and he played for plays, I should say, for American Legion Post 31 in Hamilton, Mercer County. The Ernest Sardettos Memorial Scholarship, both of, by the way, are $4,000. The winner of the Ernest Sardettos Scholarship is Joseph Nolan. Voorhees High School, played for American Legion Post 284 in Washington, Hunterdon County. The winner of the Goodwin Memorial Scholarship sent me the following letter. Dear Mr. Calandrillo, I wanted to take the time to thank you and the New Jersey American Legion for the scholarship and the scholarship committee for the $4,000 scholarship that was awarded to me. Baseball has been a passion of mine since I was 4 years old. I was lucky enough to be a member of the 2017 Nottingham Little League State Championship team and was able to represent New Jersey at the regional championships in Rhode Island. 7 years ago, I was given the opportunity to compete for a state championship as a member of Hamilton Post 31. Although we lost the championship game, it was an exciting run and an experience that I will never forget. The American Legion has been good to me. It gave me an opportunity to continue my growth as a baseball player. Throughout the summer, and more importantly, I was able to create relationships with players and coaches that will last a lifetime. You play baseball because you love the game. You do your very best and have a healthy balance between sports and academics. I have worked extremely hard over the last 4 years of my high school career. Although this is done for selfish reasons to set myself up for success, it is very rewarding to see that the hard work is recognized. I will be working toward my associates in aviation flight technology while attending flight school. This program provides the academic support and the flight hours required to become a commercial pilot at the cost of approximately $90,000. The American Legion Scholarship will make this final burden a little easier. Thank you again for acknowledging my hard work and my balanced dedication to both baseball and academics by rewarding me with this scholarship. This is very much appreciated. Sincerely, Christian G. Finacchio. Now, a letter like that shows what these programs mean to some of these young people. And it is our responsibility to keep them going and to revitalize the things that we've lost. Just in our county of Bergen, for example, we ran a league called the Bergen Area American Legion Baseball League for years. It got to a point where we had a non-Legion family member in recent years running the program. Just at the beginning, early last spring, he told me, and I quote, Let me make myself clear, I am not doing this anymore. And fellow Legionnaires, I can't blame him, because it isn't his responsibility to run our program, it's ours. What we've done in Bergen County is we're putting together a committee made up of Legionnaires and a few SAL members to revitalize the Bergen Area American Legion Baseball League. There also, we had a problem where Passaic County had 2 teams they didn't even know existed. Hudson County had 2 teams, they didn't know one of them existed. On this committee, we will have representatives from both Passaic and Hudson counties. We will invite them to be represented. What I'm going to do at this time is challenge every county across the state that has lost their baseball program in recent years to do the same, to put a committee together to investigate revitalizing their baseball program. If we don't do it, eventually you won't be seeing letters like this because the program won't exist and the scholarships won't exist. Now, in a couple of weeks, you're going to be picking up your membership cards. On those cards, you're going to see a commemoration of the centennial of American Legion Baseball, right on your membership card. I think it would be the greatest thing that the Department of New Jersey could do was to commemorate the centennial with bringing our baseball program back towards what it once was, not the other way around. I'd like to thank Commander Larry for appointing me, and I just want to say this. Due to his scheduling, he couldn't be at the championship game, but he still found time to come up to the championship tournament. During the tournament, he saw something happen that he wasn't happy with, and he immediately took action with it. That is leadership. And I'd like to thank the commander. I'd like to thank the commander for his assistance and standing behind our baseball program. Commander, thank you so much. That is my report. Thank you.
Heard the baseball report. Is there a motion to accept? Second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next, we'll have Boys State Director Dave Bagatelle.
Thank you, Commander. So I'm going to present the Boys State report, and then we've got three special guests. Our governor, lieutenant governor, and one of our Boys Nation senators are going to give their remarks. And I just want to say hello to everybody. We're about 2 days away from our 78th annual session, coming up on starting staff reports on Saturday. I know many of you in this room are involved with Boys State either through sponsorship or are part of the staff, or both. So thank you to everybody involved with Boys State. I want to give you all a big round of applause for your support. So 2023 was our 77th annual session. Pleased to report that our 2023 session was a resounding success. It's nice to return to pre-pandemic normalcy at Boys State. Our amazing all-volunteer staff did an incredible job planning and hosting the 2023 session, just as they do each and every year. I want to thank and say kudos to the entire staff who do an amazing job year after year. Registration for last year's program, which was held at Rider, believe it or not, it was our 54th year at Rider University. Hard to believe. We had 720 delegates last year versus 668 in 2022, which is about an 8% increase in number of delegates. The number of delegates that actually attended the program in 2023 was 674 versus 616 the prior year. 91% of our delegates were either, in 2023, were either elected or appointed to a political position at American Legion Jersey Boys State, which really demonstrates a high level of engagement by our delegates. We're encouraged by our positive registration trends, and we continue to be one of the largest and most successful Boys State programs in the country. We're now the 5th largest Boys State program in the country, and obviously we thank everybody for all their support and hard work. Just a footnote on that, we expect our delegates for this year's session to be around 800. So we're back to almost where we were before the pandemic. Before the pandemic, 2019, we were a little bit over 900. We are one of the few boys states and girls states in the country that are actually growing. So, thank everybody, and rest assured we're not done yet. We want to still get to that 1,000 delegate number at the end of the day. We also did well financially. We obviously closely manage our finances, and we monitor our contract with Rider University. Obviously, we really receive a lot of support from a lot of different organizations in addition to the American Legion, including the New Jersey Boys State Foundation. The foundation evolved out of our continued travels to the National Boys State Directors Conference in Indianapolis, where we compare notes with other Boys State programs around the country, and we bring new ideas back to New Jersey. And the foundation, over the years, it was founded in 2002, has donated well over $1 million in cash, in-kind donations, and consulting time in the last 22 years. Our current fee, as many of you know, is $300, and it's one of the lowest fees in the country compared to other large Boys State programs. The fee was increased for the 2023 session. We don't have any plans right now to increase the fee, and actually, as you know, we also have self-sponsored delegates, and their fee for self-sponsored delegates is $350 per delegate. We'd like to point out that Boys State is still a great value, especially since we're considered by national headquarters to be one of the top Boys State programs in the country. The $300 fee covers all aspects of the program for the delegate, including room, board, and supplies. We'll continue to look for additional revenue enhancements and expense savings to keep the delegate fee as low as possible for posts and delegates in the future. We're very proud of our new governor, Isaiah Cano, who you're going to be hearing from in just a couple of moments. Isaiah was from, or is from, Carteret in Middlesex County. He was the first self-sponsored governor in program history. Our lieutenant governor, who's also with us today, was Matt Jones, who's from Hillsborough in Somerset County. He was sponsored by Post 12. And our Boys Nation senators that were elected on the last day of the program were Senator Dylan Dukes, who's also here today from Swedesboro in Gloucester County. He was sponsored by Post 452, and Senator Chris Gorman, who's from Moorestown in Burlington County, and he was sponsored by Post 42. We also had two alternates to Boys Nation. Nasser Ali from Gloucester Township in Camden County, he was sponsored by Post 281. And Kenny Frias from Clifton, Passaic County, was sponsored by Post 360. I could not have been more pleased with the staff and the level of support they provided me in my 17th year as director. Each of our delegates completes a Boys State evaluation form at the conclusion of the week. These surveys help us determine whether we are successfully performing our mission to teach government, politics, patriotism, leadership, and Americanism to the most outstanding young men entering the senior class in New Jersey's high schools. I'm pleased to report that this year's survey showed an overwhelming approval rating of the program's content and staff. I wish to acknowledge the support that this program receives from the officers and trustees of the American Legion Boys State Corporation, the American Legion Department of New Jersey, and our outstanding all-volunteer staff. I want to also personally thank President and Past Department Commander Ted Howard, Vice President, Past Department Commander and NEC Burley Hanna, Department Adjutant John Baker, Department and ALJBS Secretary Tammy Abdrabu, as well as the entire staff at Legion Headquarters in Trenton. Of course, I would be remiss if I did not thank and recognize Department Commander Larry Bishop and his Vice Commanders for their support and assistance. Finally, I wish to thank all of you for the opportunity you've afforded me and the trust you have placed in me to serve as Executive Director of this outstanding program and its exceptional staff. With your support and the staff and infrastructure that we now have in place, I believe that we're well positioned to face those challenges. That's my report. So thank you once again. I'm now going to, the moment you've been waiting for is you don't want to hear from me, you want to hear from our delegates. Oh, you want to accept the report first?
You've heard the Boys State report. Is there a motion to accept?
Move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Great, thank you very much, appreciate that. Now I'm going to introduce our first speaker. As I said, we're very fortunate to have our Boys State Governor, who was elected by his peers last year. He was a self-sponsored delegate. He's from Carteret in Middlesex County. Very pleased to introduce Governor Isaiah Cano. Governor?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
For the past year, I've had the honor of representing American Legion Jersey Boys State as the 77th Governor. And now as my time with the title comes to an end, and the time to elect a new governor quickly approaches, I find myself reflecting on the past year of holding this title has done for me. Other than only being addressed as Governor Cano for the past 10 months by my peers. Every day I wake up, this title has served as a reminder that there is a standard of excellence I must meet or excel past each day. While I have always been a hardworking and determined individual, since gaining this title, it has been my goal to be the most hardworking, most determined, and most driven individual in any room I step in. And while I love this great state of New Jersey, I have realized that there are many problems that need to be addressed. And attaining this title has inspired me to continue working diligently so that I can be in a position one day where I am creating the change that I want to see for my beloved home. My time as governor has not only inspired myself, but those around me as well. In my town, almost no one knew what ALJBS was before I attended, heavily due to the fact that my town does not recognize many accomplishments outside of athletics. But since being bestowed governor in front of my school, many other students have been inspired to get involved with the program and to follow in my footsteps. My school has been working hard to recognize students' academic achievements after seeing the doors that have opened for myself, investing more time into clubs like STEM and DECA. I would like to express my deepest gratitude to everyone a part of ALJBS for allowing me the opportunity to attend this wonderful program. It has truly been a week that shaped the future. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Isaiah. Our next up is our Lieutenant Governor, who's also elected by his peers, from Hillsborough in Somerset County. As I said, he was sponsored by Post 12. Lieutenant Governor Matt Jones.
So I'd like to take this time to talk about what Boise State taught me and my experience there. A week that shapes the future. The first time I heard this slogan was inside an American Legion post, an organization I had never heard of, with 10 other high school juniors, none of whom I had met before, hearing about Boise State, a program I had never heard of. So as I watched the presenter preach about the importance of buying supplemental t-shirts, I doubted that this one experience would somehow manage to shape not only my future, but the future of the country, as was expressed by the man giving the presentation. As was explained to me, Boise State would consist of a lengthy series of elections that would culminate in the foundation of a 51st state. Given my success in high school student council, my confidence was very high, and I largely expected to roll through the week with ease. That turned out to not necessarily be the case. On the first day of Boise State, I learned all the positions I could run for and activities I could participate in, and I came up with a plan. I would run for my city's EBO and party chair, and then I would go for the state party chair. I succeeded on the city and county levels and thought it would go just as smoothly on the state level. As I campaigned for the position, I made sure to speak individually with members of each city and spoke on all the important issues to my fellow delegates. When it came time for all the candidates to give speeches, I delivered what I thought was a well-crafted speech that touched on all the important issues and presented myself as the best candidate I could put forward. The only thing I never considered was that I could lose. When the results came in, it turned out that I had lost my first election, and even now, a year later, there's nothing in particular I can point to as to why. That night, I started picking apart all my strategies and word choices, and I managed to turn what had thus far been a great experience into a disappointment in my mind. But at that moment, I was presented with an opportunity. As the city party chair, I was a member of the National Party Election Committee, which worked with the state party chair on the gubernatorial election. After I lost my election for state party chair, the committee met, and it was mentioned that the following day, when the gubernatorial candidate was chosen, they would also need to decide on a lieutenant governor. The rest of that night and the following morning, I had to decide whether I would be satisfied with how far I had gotten, or if I would strive for more. As I watched the gubernatorial primary, my answer became clear. More than anything, I wanted to be on that stage, vouching for my solutions to fix problems, and debating and compromising with those who disagree. So I would go on to plead my case to be the lieutenant governor nominee, and thankfully, I received the nomination. The final days of Boise State were filled with scrupulous speech writing, campaigning, and platform structuring that left the gubernatorial candidate, Isaiah, and I with about 4 hours of sleep between the two of us. When I got home from Boise State, I was extremely proud of myself. This wasn't because I wound up being elected lieutenant governor, but because I had failed and not given up. Persevering through challenges becomes far more difficult when you have never tasted defeat. The greatest lesson Boise State taught me is that failing is not always a terrible thing. Sometimes not succeeding at something you want desperately is the only way to learn what you truly need, and it can open up the door for something far greater. I want to thank all of you for inviting me here today and for your service to this wonderful country.
And last but not least, we have one of our Boys Nation senators with us today. As I said, Dylan Dukes is from Swedesboro in Gloucester County. He was sponsored by Post 452. Please give a big round of applause to welcome Senator Dylan Dukes.
Good morning. So my name, as he said, is Dylan Dukes, and it is definitely my honor and privilege to be here and stand before you all today. The first thing I would just like to say is 2 words: thank you. Through this program, I can truly say that I've grown so much as an individual, as a person, met lifelong friends that I still keep in touch with, and honestly, it's been really one of the most insightful and fun experiences that I've ever had, and ever probably will have. I was very fortunate to be elected by my peers to represent them on the national level, and I learned so much at Jersey Boys State and eventually Boys Nation. that I will take with me for the rest of my life. Going into Boys State, I was definitely ambitious and determined to learn. However, I soon realized that my connection to my peers and those around me was the most important thing. That Boys State did such a great job of cultivating, and that was the most important thing that I could ever learn or obtain. Equality and access to resources, the future of AI technology, immigration policy, and the relationship between fiscal policy and the business world. My curiosity and eagerness in these issues, alongside this tangible desire to connect and benefit my peers, propelled me to serve as Boys Nation Senator this year. During my tenure as Senator, I was able to be the chair ensuring timely and efficient debate. I proposed the Economic Empowerment of Black Businesses Bill that aimed to benefit not only the Black community, but small businesses across the country by increasing opportunities for lending and technical assistance through investment and tax incentives nationwide. The question of how to best run education and the education system is one that leaders of today and tomorrow will have to face. Senator and presidential candidate Tim Scott proclaimed. As I spoke with the senator, I obtained valuable insight on the benefits and consequences of policy impacting education. To continue gaining insight, I will be attending Harvard University this fall. There, I hope to learn from Eric Bierbaum regarding the key factor political ethics plays to ensure social equality. Converse with Ken Himmelman at the Kennedy School about the role of public leadership and how that plays a role to solve social issues. And engage in the JFK Forum that will collectively act as slingshots that will enable me to make the positive change and benefit those around me. However, this would not be possible without every single one of you. And I am forever grateful for this opportunity to learn and have an experience that I will forever appreciate, eternally be grateful for. And as Jersey Boys State puts it best, it truly was a week that shapes the future. Thank you.
So once again, that's our group, and we're looking forward to our 78th session starting this Sunday. And once again, thanks to all of you for your support. Have a great day.